Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Club 33.3 podcast. My name is Chase Gabriel. I'd like to welcome you all here today. What I want to talk about today is something that the more that I've had time to think about and process the conversation, the more fucking pissed off I become. And people need to wake up and come out of whatever little box that they're living in and speak out and stand up for what they truly believe in, and stop letting the government and people in power dictate or tell us how we're going to live on a day-to-day basis. The amount of people that need help in this world right now is at an all-time high. Whether that's in addiction, alcoholism, depression, obesity, whatever it may be, the numbers are at an all-time high. And it's going to take more people like myself that are willing to stand up, speak out, and take a stand and help those who are in dire need of help before things are going to turn around and get any better. You know, being new to this self-help space, coaching space, you know, motivation, whatever you want to say, I am looking for any way possible to get my story out there and hopefully change lives, save lives, and do whatever I can to help people turn their life around in a positive direction. And in doing that, I have been sending countless emails, messages, phone calls to treatment centers, detox centers, schools, whatever it may be, and offering my time, for whatever that's worth, to come tell my story, do whatever I can to help those who need the help and need to hear a positive, encouraging message, to hopefully encourage them to keep going and not give up and resort back to the life that they've been living that's got them to the spot that they're in. And quite honestly, I haven't heard back from a lot of people, which is sad in its own right, because you would think that they'd be jumping at the chance to get somebody that's a success story of being at absolute rock bottom, 7-year drug addiction, to overcoming that and living a better life, to come back and speak to those who need to hear it, that are at rock bottom currently. But that hasn't been the case. But I did hear back from a treatment center yesterday here in Columbus, Ohio, and who I'll leave unnamed. But the email that I got back started off really good. You know, I got a email from a female in the HR department, and they were really excited that I reached out, seemed really receptive on having me come and speak and put my story out there of going from rock bottom to present day, living a better life. And the farther I read down the email, it stated, can you go ahead and send us a copy of your photo ID so we can start a background check. Anybody that comes into our facility, you know, we have to do a background check on, which I understand. And below that it read, after you send that, can you send a copy of your vaccination card, COVID vaccination card? And I'm thinking, what? What does my COVID vaccination card have anything to do with what we're talking about? So I replied back, I said, thanks for reaching back out. Whatever I can do to help, I'm willing to do. But first off, is the COVID vaccination card a requirement to come into your facility? And a few minutes later, I get a response that reads, unfortunately, yes, that is one of our requirements. Is that a problem? And I'm sitting there reading this, and in my head I'm thinking, well, for one, I didn't get the vaccine. I'm never going to get the vaccine. And two, the last time I checked, the COVID vaccine wasn't saving somebody's life that had just overdosed on fucking fentanyl. So I responded back with, if that is a requirement, yes, it is a problem because I didn't get the vaccination. So I guess this conversation is done. And I just kind of brushed it off, didn't think much more about it. And then as time went on yesterday, I started to think about it. And then I talked to my wife about it. And when I told her that I got a response back from them and what they had said, she said, are you fucking kidding me? That's seriously what they're worried about, instead of helping the people that really need the help in their facility. And I said, well, apparently so. And the more that I thought about it, the direction that our country is headed in is going down a road that is a dead-end road. And it's going to take more people standing up, speaking out, and holding true to what they believe in before things are ever going to start to turn around or get any better. I was wondering, as I was thinking about this yesterday, and I don't hold anything against the lady that sent me the email. She was probably just doing her job, following suit, and doing what she was told. But in reality, that's what the fucking problem is to begin with. People are too afraid to step out of line when they don't believe in something. They just put their head down and follow the person in front of them. And, does she truly believe that the COVID vaccine is more important than coming and speaking and possibly saving somebody's life? Or is she just following orders and doing what she's told because she's afraid of the repercussions on the backside? And that's a lot of society today. Deep down inside, they may not believe in what they're saying, or they may be told what to say or what to do, and they don't believe it themselves, but they're too afraid to give any pushback and stand up for what they believe in. And that's what's got us where we're at today. They're pushing this COVID vaccine still 3 years after COVID first came around in 2020. And the amount of people that have died from a drug overdose, suicide, alcoholism, being obese, dying of a heart attack, far outweighs the amount of people that have died from COVID. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have died from the COVID vaccine, but the government doesn't want you to know about that. They don't want you to know the real truth, that putting that vaccine in your body, you're going to have some adverse side effects, if not ultimately die from it. We've all seen professional athletes fall over on the field. We've all seen the elderly develop heart issues. We've all seen some of the younger generation develop heart issues, and they didn't have it before the vaccine, but somehow miraculously after getting it, they start to develop all these adverse side effects and symptoms, but nobody really wants to admit what the true cause of it was. But yet, one of the first questions that I'm asked from a treatment facility that I'm offering to donate my time to hopefully touch that one person that wants to give up on life, the number one question that I get is, did you get your COVID vaccine? And that's a fucking problem. People need to wake up when getting the COVID vaccine is more important than saving lives of those who are stuck in addiction, depression, alcoholism, whatever it may be. When the COVID vaccine is more important than that, and the drug epidemic has been on the rise for the last 10, 15 years. You know, there was a slow kind of little level off there right before COVID hit, and then when everybody gets told that they got to stay inside and be on lockdown 24/7, you watch the drug epidemic numbers start to go skyrocket, and the alcohol and the divorce and the amount of people that are overweight because they were told to stay inside, they couldn't do anything. So they become depressed. They look for alternatives to mask the emotions or the pain of whatever they're going through. And in the last 2 or 3 years, the amount of overdoses from fentanyl, heroin, meth, whatever it may be, has exponentially grew to an all-time high. But yet, the COVID vaccine seems to be more important than trying to save those lives. And when that is the case, we got a big problem. No matter if you have the COVID vaccine or not, and you overdose on fentanyl, that vaccine isn't going to save your life. It's going to be the person that you talk to that made it to the other side. It's going to be the person that gives you the encouragement not to give up and keep going. That's what's going to save your life. Not some vaccine that is harming people on the backside to begin with. So we need to really evaluate what's important in this world right now. And we need to really evaluate who needs the help. And we need to really evaluate with ourselves what do we truly believe in and what is important to us. You know, does that worker at that treatment facility truly believe that the COVID vaccine is going to save an addict's life? Or is she just following suit and doing what she's told? People need to be willing to step out of line when it matters the most. And if you don't believe in something and it doesn't sit right, you need to be willing to speak up and take a stand on it, because somebody's life may depend on it. But when you just keep following the person in front of you and taking orders, that doesn't benefit anybody. That just keeps us going down the same road that we're on. And eventually we're going to run out of road. But if people will take a stand, be willing to give pushback when they don't believe in something, that's what's going to make the difference. That's what's going to ultimately start to turn things around in a positive direction. But the people that are just going through the daily motions and doing what they're told, even when they really don't agree with it, that's what the fucking problem is. So if you don't believe in something, but yet you're being told to say it, and it may be the difference of you losing your job, it may be the difference of you losing a friendship, it may be the difference of losing a family member. But at the end of the day, what's more important? Doing what's right or doing what's easy? Because it's real easy just to follow what everybody else is doing. Well, that's all my other co-workers got the vaccine, so I don't want to be the only person that doesn't get it. Motherfucker, you might be the only person that survives to see 50. Stand up. Don't be afraid to speak out. You know, I thought really hard, should I do a message about this today or shouldn't I? Because there's probably a lot of people that think that the COVID vaccine is the end all be all. But it's bullshit. The end all be all is people that are willing to stand up, take a stand, speak out for what they believe in, be willing to help those who need help. That's what's going to start to turn things around. You know, here I am willing to do whatever I can to give back to those who need help and help them turn their life around and maybe ultimately save their life and pull them out of the addiction or the alcoholism, depression, whatever it may be. But yet, that's not good enough, because I don't have a card that says I've been vaccinated. That's a fucking problem. Stand up for what you believe in. If it doesn't seem right, 99% of the time it probably isn't. I encourage you, don't follow what everybody else is doing. It's easy to follow. It's really hard to lead. Take a stand. Be willing to step out of line and make a difference in somebody's life. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you real soon.